Hello everyone, my name is Koshan Toledo-Scott. I'm a second-year psychology student taking Psych 110, and this is my presentation on hormones involved in feeding. The purpose of these slides are to share biopsychology in an understandable way. So, before we get started, I'd like to say that all my information came from my professor's slides in the textbook provided, as well as the images, and today's agenda will have two major sections: hunger signals and satiety signals. So what are hunger signals? Hunger signals are our body's way of saying we need to eat. The first one we'll talk about is ghrelin, which sends signals to the hypothalamus to activate neuropeptide Y. The hypothalamus is the control center that triggers different bodily functions, and neuropeptide Y is an amino acid that helps with homeostasis. Ghrelin is produced in the stomach walls. Levels rise when we're hungry, so we have an increase in appetite and increased need for physical activity, and this is important for short-term control. Higher levels of ghrelin means that less food has been eaten and a stronger hunger signal will be sent. This is a short-term thing because there's a constant increase and decrease of ghrelin throughout our day. So you see there's increases and decreases. Hypoglycemia is when blood glucose levels falls, which means we have a low blood sugar. This can also be known as glucoprivation. This is detected by the liver and it sends hunger signals to the brain through the vagus nerve. And this is also important because it's connected to the lipoprivation, which is also the fall in fatty acid levels, also detected by the liver, and hunger signals also are sent to the brain by the vagus nerve. Because the brain is unable to metabolize fatty acids and glucose, the vagus nerve gets triggered, which can tell our brain, hey, we need to eat, we're getting hungry, which is basically what lipoprivation hypoglycemia is used for. It tells our brain, hey, we need to eat something and we need to eat it now, we're getting hungry. Satiety signals is our body telling us that we are full. So as we've talked about, the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve that plays a role in rest and digestion. It's a key part of our sympathetic nervous system. It is involuntarily controlled. So we can't tell our vagus nerve, hey, tell my brain I'm hungry. It does it by itself. So this also plays a role in the digestive process, which includes stimulating movement of the food through our digestive tract and affects our stomach motility, which goes into our stomach stretch. Based on our fullness, our stomach stretches. Because of the vagus nerve, there are sensory fibers in our stomach and it tells us how full we are. For example, on an empty stomach, there are no signals being sent to the vagus nerve saying, hey, we're full, we have a big stretch, we've eaten a meal. Once we get the food in our stomach, such as over here, our vagus nerve is telling our brain, hey, we're full, don't eat anymore, we're done, we don't need to eat anything else. So what is leptin? And leptin is a hormone that helps regulate our appetite. This is a very important, crucial part of our body. It is secreted by fat cells, and high levels of leptin indicate that there's high level of fat stores to our hypothalamus, which basically means when there's more fat in your body, there will be more leptin released, which means we will be signaled that we're not hungry. This is made by adipose cells, which are literally just cells that store energy in the form of fat. So when we have more fat, there's going to be more leptin released, saying we're full. When our leptin turns off our eating, we have a decrease in motivation for physical activity because we're going to get tired. Our appetite is full. So when you eat a lot of food and you're like, dang, I could take a nap right now, that's the release of leptin telling you it's time to rest, it's time to digest, it's time to get some sleep. So this is another example. As you can see throughout the day, the leptin levels get higher, and if we had our other diagram, you would see that our ghrelin levels are going up and down throughout the day. So now what happens when we have no leptin, or our leptin is not releasing the way that it should be? So because leptin is the hormone that regulates our appetite, when there are less hormones being released, it means that our satiety feelings do not occur, which means you will likely be super hungry all of the time. The arcuate nucleus has receptors for hormones that control feeding, so leptin is the one that tells us we need to stop eating. So if there's something wrong with that hormone in our hypothalamus, which tells us everything we need to do, it's our little train station for activity. If we don't have that, then it's obviously going to be an issue because, again, you're going to be hungry, you're not going to feel full, and you'll continue to eat even if your body has already accumulated enough for rest and digestion. Now we're going to do a quick review of everything that we learned. So what are the three hunger signals? If you said ghrelin, hypoglycemia, and lipoprivation, you're right. What are satiety signals? If you said stretch, vagus nerve, and leptin, you are correct. And thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you learned something.